everyone. Welcome to LexTalk, World Talk show presented by Clickaway Creators. Today we have Mr. Ayush Agarwala with us. Ayush heads the disputes practice in the Mumbai office of the firm. Prior to joining K-Law, Ayush was associated with some of the largest firms in India, like AZB and Partners and Khaitan and Co. He has advised several corporate powerhouses and multinational companies, both domestic and international, spanning various industries and sectors. He has extensive experience in sectors including shareholder disputes, infrastructure, insurance, petrochemicals, debt and equity financing, telecom, hospitality, manufacturing, IT, and consumer. Ayush has advised and acted in various high stake matters and matters which led to landmark judgments being passed by the courts in India. He is currently advising bondholders in a challenge to Indian Reserve Bank's action of amalgamating a bank with large Singapore headquartered bank and an association of 1,000 importers in the Indian government's inaction against enforcement of certain shipping or import related notifications issued during the COVID-19 lockdown. So, without any further ado, I am just going to introduce to the man himself. Hello, Ayush. How are you?
Hi, Bharti. Hi. How are you today?
I am good. I'm really good. Thank you for asking, Ayush. After, when I was actually introducing you, I'm quite excited to know about your journey as a legal professional myself. So, please enlighten us.
Great. Thank you, first of all, for having me here.
Pleasure.
So I've been in the profession now for about 12 years. I started off in 2009. I started off in a firm called PDS Legal, where I did a little bit of commercial disputes, but primarily indirect tax practice. I then moved on to AZB and Khaitan, like you mentioned. And since then, I've actually been focusing only on commercial disputes. So commercial disputes, a lot of arbitrations, high courts, Supreme Court, name the tribunal, name the forum. I think I've worked there. But the focus primarily now has shifted towards arbitration and international disputes. So yeah, that's my journey now. I think I joined K-Law about 2.5 years back, and I've been heading the disputes practice since. Oh yeah.
Thank you, Ayush. 12 years of your journey as a legal professional, and I'm sure you must be having a lot of memorable cases to talk about. So, tell us about your most memorable case and your learnings from there.
So like you mentioned earlier, I've been lucky enough to actually have had quite a few good cases that I've got to work on actually. Thanks to the firms that I've been involved, that I've worked with actually. So, multiple cases which multiple high stake matters, like I said, like you said, that have led to landmark judgments. But if I really have to pick one, I think there's this case between HSBC Holdings versus Avitel Post Studios, India. It was, it was a Singapore arbitration, and we were assisting and we were actually helping with the India leg of things. It was a case where the court first decided actually went against the Supreme Court, or it differentiated between a standing Supreme Court judgment to say that, issues involving fraud can actually be arbitrated upon India. Until then, there was a judgment which had said that issues of fraud cannot be arbitrated upon in India. So this actually went on to say, hold that. I think recently now the Supreme Court has gone on and confirmed the judgment that we got from the Bombay High Court back then. That case was close to me or important for me as a lawyer because it really, set my knowledge straight when it comes to arbitration, when it came to arbitration. If I'm an arbitration lawyer today, if I know anything about arbitration, I think a lot of it has to do has to be credited to that case that I worked on. It's also memorable because that was probably one of the first white collar crime cases that I'd done. So, meeting the police, spending time in the police station, spending time with cops. And so it was very memorable for me. The one thing when I did leave AZB, and I told my colleagues that if I'm going to miss something, it's going to be this one matter for my.
Wow, that is quite inspiring. Let's talk about your specialization, Ayush. Let's talk about the dispute resolution. I mean, how do you look at dispute resolution right now? And if you think that there are going to be certain changes 5 years down the line, and I'm sure you are in this vertical, so I'm sure you can, throw light on that in a better way.
Well, so dispute resolution, to put it lightly, has been difficult over the last year because of the lockdown. Things have changed, some for the good. Actually, I do believe. Uh, but yes, I don't think dispute lawyers knew that they could be out of work or they could struggle with work at any given point of time. But courts were shut over the last year. Uh, courts were, and when they did open, they were dealing only with certain kinds of matters, certain important matters, urgent matters. So dispute resolution has been difficult. I think moving into this year, I think we will see things, and actually I've started seeing that things are opening up. Clients are back. Clients do want to start litigating again. So I think that's good for dispute resolution. I think what's also good is that now, and this is actually very important, is that courts are now open to the idea of using technology for hearings. And I think that was lacking at some point in the past, because in litigation, at least, the only progress that you see is probably amendments to laws or new laws or new laws that come in. But infrastructure wise, how the practice progresses, it is slow. It is so it is really good that the courts have caught on to this. But I would hope that the IT infrastructure does improve. I don't think that's going to happen in 5 years, but yes, I do think this is the future. I do think there has to be more and more reliance on technology, while not losing our how do I put this? I don't want physical hearings to stop. Physical hearings have to go on, but we need to embrace technology. We do need to embrace technology, and I think that is what we're going to see over the next 5 years. I think we are going to see, though the use of technology was forced upon us, I think it's there to stay in some form or the other. I think that is the biggest change that we're going to see in the next 5 years.
As much as you want, you do not want physical hearings to stop, but we cannot avoid uh, the fun that we had the past year while we were working from home, right?
I think you should ask that with people. It was fun for a while. Beyond the point when you had no work, it was, it was difficult. What do you do beyond the point? How much fun can you have? Especially sitting at home, it's not like you could really go out anywhere.
But now when we were actually praying and hoping that everything will be open and everything will be fine the way it was, now we are kind of in our comfort zone, and we want things to
Yeah.
stay the same way as it were, because they were quite comfortable.
I agree. So I also think work from home is actually something that would continue to remain. Not may, Maybe not so much as in probably the IT sector or something, where some
And
companies from
not
what
for
I
you.
hear have, yeah, where they have declared work from home permanently or for quite some time. But
Yeah.
yes, I do think work from home is also something that is open to lawyers, and even in litigation, I think. At least in firms that do some niche practice, I think work from home is a possibility. I think firms would take that more seriously. And I think they should take that more seriously.
Right. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Ayush. Thoroughly enjoyed your answer and your experience and knowledge. Um, Now, you've been in the industry for more than a decade, and I'm sure you have your own ways and your principles, and you just live by them. But what is important for you when you actually service a client? Like few things that you always take care of.
Well, I think the first and foremost is to try and understand when a new client comes to me, is to try and understand what the client wants. I think it's very important to figure out what your client is looking for. I think it's very important to understand what his expectations are. Because you may know all the law in the world. At the end of the day, the harsh reality is that the client is coming to you because he wants a solution. And if you don't understand what it is that he's looking for, you'll never be able to give him the solution that he's really happy with. Secondly, I think it is efficiency. I think my first boss told me that, I remember I'd taken too long to finish something. And when he pulled me up for it, I told him, but sir, you know what, I've done a good job. Why don't you just look at that? Like, you're not the only lawyer who can do a good job. What sets you apart is how efficient you are. So I think efficiency is very, very important. I think clients respect that. And I've seen that over the years, clients really respect efficiency. And the third most important thing I think for clients is responsiveness. You have to be available. I'm not saying that you'll be available for clients at 12 in the night or 1 in the night. But yes, you can't disappear for them. You can't not answer their calls. You can't not be not reachable for large periods of time. So I think these are three very important things that we in a firm do, that we in our practice at least, or in my practice at least, I do push that upon even my colleagues. I do ensure that every mail is responded to. I do ensure that they are in touch, that we are in touch with clients. I do ensure that we are following up regularly with what's happening in our matters, and the clients are always informed about what's happening in their matters. I think these are key principles to keep a client happy. Yes, you need to know your law. You need to, and then comes, yes, knowing your law, applying it, giving quality work, and giving quality work consistently. I think if these are things that that we really do focus on.
Out of all the things that you have said, I guess being a client, I mean, if I put myself into a client's shoes, the most important thing would be the response. Like, if my lawyer is not responding to me, and I would just go bonkers because I'm like, what is happening, right? So yeah,
Exactly.
because I absolutely
And
agree with you. But I had to put myself into that situation and then think about it. Then yeah, absolutely right. All of these things matter the most.
yeah, I mean, it's quite natural, right? If okay, there are certain clients who are very litigation savvy. They do litigations very regularly. They know how things work. A little bit here and there. They know that a little bit of delay here and there may not work. But clients who are not litigation savvy, who are probably who've gotten involved in the first or second litigation, they're anxious at all times. They're very, very anxious. And if you're not reachable at some point, uh, you know, forget going bonkers. I don't know what's going to happen to them. I've seen some clients who've gotten really, really anxious I remember when I was in court once, and the courts here, the network in the mobile network in courts are bad. So once you're there, and if you're there the whole day, you're practically not reachable for about 6-7 hours or 5-6 hours that day. And I remember walked out once and I had like 10 missed calls from a client who said, where were you? And, I was really trying to reach you, and then things of that sort. And it wasn't anything big. It's not like he had, his issue was very big. It's just that he was anxious and he'd never done that before.
With that, patience also comes with the picture, right? Like, a lawyer has to like really patient with the clients, and then at the same time, the way you're describing it, you have to be their therapist as well. Like,
Yes.
oh, everything's fine. Yeah, you need to
Yeah,
counsel every now and then.
it's no more. Our profession has changed to the point where, there was a time that I'm told, actually, so certainly not during my time. There was a time I'm told that lawyers, if the lawyers had told clients, if the lawyers tell clients that this is what we're going to do and this is how it's going to be, clients would just say, okay, fine, and people would be scared of lawyers, and they would just take it. Even if they disagree, they would just say, okay, fine, go ahead and do it. But things have changed now, with the advent of law firms, with, we've become more client centric. We've become more client friendly, if I could call call it that. So, so we are available. Like you said, we have to be the balm to what they perceive to be wounds sometimes, right? We need to keep them calm. We need to be their therapist. We need to be everything. But at the same time, yes, when they have to be told strictly that something can't be done or something has to be done a particular way, you need to know when to do that.
I'm sure they would get scared. Like, what do I do now?
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends on the circumstances. It really depends on the circumstances when what they are in. The certain clients were not scared of anything, quite frankly.
All right. Thank you so much, Ayush, for sharing your experience with us and also imparting your knowledge. Uh, at the same time, before sadly we have come to the end of the conversation, ladies and gentlemen. But before we end, I would really like you to give us some advice, or give the viewers some advice on how do they deal with um, the pressure that come with a particular case, or because they have to fulfill their responsibilities as well, but at the same time there's a lot of pressure from the client side. There are a lot of things that that they need to take care of. So how do they deal with that?
Oh, it's a difficult question. I think everyone has their own way to deal with pressure. Uh,
Right.
I think what's important is that you don't get overawed by the situation. I think that's very important. You no matter what the situation, keep a cool head, keep a calm head. Don't get overawed. It's very easy at times when you have multiple things happening, multiple deadlines, multiple clients, multiple partners, multiple bosses calling you and telling you that, listen, where's my work? Where's my work? It's very easy to implode. I think it's very important to keep a calm head. It's very important to set expectations right. If you want pressure on yourself to be less, you need to be very upfront and tell whoever it is that, listen, this is how much time it's going to take. This is what you should expect. So set the expectations right. I think that automatically just reduces the pressure on you. But once you set an expectation, please ensure that you that you live up to the expectation, right? If you do tell a client that I'm going to give you something tomorrow by 12 o'clock, please ensure that it's there by 12 o'clock. That reduces pressure automatically on you. And apart from that, like I said right at the beginning, just keep calm. Things happen. Our industry, our profession is not easy. Our profession is difficult. But at the same time, it is rewarding. So, and so if you just keep a cool head, you concentrate on the work that is there, you keep everybody's expectations right, and just work hard. I think it's perfectly fine. I think you will overcome any pressure that you are facing.
Thank you so much, Ayush, for this wonderful conversation. And we really look forward to having a chat with you again on, some other trending topics in the international legal industry. For our viewers, if you like this chat with Mr. Agrawal, and I'm sure you would, please like and share this video, and also subscribe to Clickaway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do, and we have more coming from industry legal leaders. This is Bharti for LexTalk signing off. Take care. Bye bye.